All right, this morning as families juggle holiday fun, sweet treats, and busy schedules, of course, too, we're taking a moment to focus on keeping kids healthy and navigating seasonal illnesses, too. Unfortunately, the flu is on the rise right now, making kid-friendly New Year's resolutions as well. We got a lot to get to this morning. Let's welcome back Dr. Michael Glazer from Bluebird Kids Health. Thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here, particularly during this week.
Yeah, it's a busy one.
It is definitely a busy week. It is a busy, exciting week. I think whether you celebrate and you're wrapping up Hanukkah or you're still decorating your tree for Christmas Eve, you know, for most of us, it's an incredibly joyous time. I do think it's important, though, to realize that for some families and some individuals, particularly those that have suffered loss, this can be an emotionally challenging time. And it's a time for us to be present, to be there for each other. Every interaction that we have can be meaningful. To the families that need it, help is there if you ask for it. And to the families that can give it, every conversation and every action can have an incredibly positive impact.
Yeah, it's a really good reminder. It can be triggering for a lot of people. It can also be stressful. You deal with a lot of parents, too, bringing their kids in. Nobody wants to be at the doctor's office during the holidays, right? But unfortunately, you guys are seeing a rise in flu cases.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing a rise in all respiratory illness, but particularly flu. We're also seeing a rise in gastroenteritis, which is vomiting and diarrhea.
Yeah.
I think both respiratory illness and GI illness, you know, one of the most important things we can do to help curtail that is practicing good hand hygiene.
Right.
You know, and good hand hygiene is consistently, routinely throughout the day, washing our hands, not just with water, but with soap and water, and doing it for at least 20 seconds.
Now, with that in mind, too, a lot of people are traveling right now. Is there any added steps that we can take while we're in these busy airports? You and I were just talking about that. We'll be heading to the airport at some point this week, too, along with the crowds, and that's where you see those spreads of viruses, especially among kids and the elderly.
Yeah, I mean, kids by definition are curious. You know, they're putting their hands into everything. Whether you're going through TSA, you're sitting in a plane, they're looking in that pocket in front of them. And I think in addition to the hand washing, it's Purell. You know, having Purell on hand and using that. And encouraging kids, encouraging adults as we gather that if you're sick and you're coughing, cough in your elbow, don't cough in your hand, because then you're just spreading it to the next family member.
All right, I just heard a cough out there. I was like right on cue. So let's talk also about this time of year. We've talked about this before, but the sweet treats obviously all over the place, Christmas cookies especially, and this is the time of year where kids want to indulge, right? Candy seems to be everywhere, the candy canes, the stockings. How do we enjoy but also curtail, you know, overindulgence?
Yeah, it is an interesting time. I feel like we were just wrapping up Thanksgiving where there was, you know, turkey and pie, and now we have all these decadent cookies coming our way. And I think the key again is moderation. You know, 1 or 2 cookies, absolutely okay for us as parents, okay for kids. A dozen cookies, too much. So it's not saying no all the time, it's saying no to the quantity.
Yes, okay. Santa, leave some for Santa this morning as well. Stockings and things like that, last minute stocking stuffers. I know people some people, maybe myself included, scrambling a little bit, right, for those last minute. Are there things that you would suggest for parents that are great things for the kids?
Yeah, I think as a pediatrician, I'm always looking at child development, and I'm looking at things that will promote intellectual curiosity. So small puzzles, any type of sketchbook, crayon, sticker books, things like that, you know, are generally better than the small electronics that you can squeeze in.
Right. Avoid the screen time, give them something to be curious with. And then going into the new year, it's right around the corner here, 2026. How do we talk to our kids about, you know, setting some goals and achieving them too? Yeah,
I think I'll segue from screen time into that. I think that the new year is a wonderful time for resolutions. Resolutions can be personal or they can be shared in a family. I think, you know, resolutions are an important opportunity to teach our kids. And I think resolutions that are easily attainable, that are kind of clear, you know, and that can be flexible are the ones that are going to succeed. And I think my resolution for 2026, just to overshare, is to try and be more present and being more present with my family, with my friends, and with my colleagues. And to do that, it's not about the quantity of time we spend together, it's the quality. And you want to be undistracted. And the biggest distraction are screens. The biggest distraction is social media. The biggest distraction is the cell phone.
Yeah.
And so I think if parents can model that behavior and try in 2026 limit the cell phone, certainly it never has a place at the table.
Right.
But to not just ask their kids questions, but listen to the answers.
Yeah, and be an active listener. You've talked about this before. I think that's a great idea. And thank you for sharing your resolution. The big thing is that it trickles down, right? The kids model your behavior. So if you put the phone and the screen down, then they may too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do encourage people to share their resolutions, because then there's some stick to it.
Yeah, I love it. Remind everybody where they can find you. You guys are in South Florida too.
Yeah, we are in Broward County in Tamarack, and we're in Palm Beach County, and we are also in Duval, and we're excited to hopefully be coming to Tampa soon.
We're excited to have you. Thanks so much for coming in. Merry early Christmas and Happy
thank
New
you.
Year. Off to see his family as well. So enjoy your holiday.
Yep.
All right, let's get over to meteorologist Courtney Jacobazzi. This one's going up to Boston. So help